Hell froze over. And no, I'm not talking about the Leafs winning the cup.
Oh,
But CM Punk's back in WWE. We had a hell of a show, Survivor Series. We'll get into why we actually didn't end up live streaming.
yeah.
We'll get to that off the top, but we're going to go through the show top to bottom, give our thoughts, opinions. I know I have some words to eat because when Punk got fired, some of our early episodes, I said straight up, I do not want to see this dude back in WWE. And I still stand by that, but
Yeah.
I'd be lying to you if I said that it wasn't the least bit exciting, especially with that crowd. But we'll dive right into that. Um, but I noticed you got a new camera, man.
I did.
What's going on?
Well, I just try something different here. I thought the other camera was a little blurred a little bit here. Now you see me in full HD. I am not as attractive as you may think I am. My voice, but it's a work in progress, folks. It is a nice camera so far. It is really cool. I am still working the kinks out on it, but it is nice to kind of have like face here, face in front of you guys instead of having to turn my head like a douchebag. But yeah, Warriors is good. Like shocker, probably of all time, more than likely, the biggest shocker of all time.
I haven't
Has to be up there,
been
ranked.
I haven't been that caught off guard
Yeah,
by a return since Edge in the Rumble in
yeah.
2020. That's the last time I
That,
remember
that's the
being
part.
actually caught off guard.
That's probably the last time I could say I was honestly shocked in
Yeah.
WWE.
Yeah.
Like the Edge one, and being from Canada, being an Edge fan in general, um, that one brought a tear to my eye just because you knew what he went through. You know what
Yep.
I mean?
Yep.
The Punk one never
That
brought a
day
tear in my eye, but
and
others might have.
and that day was already a whirlwind because of what happened with Kobe.
Yeah, that was an insane day when you think about it.
But anyways, so I'll just dive into it really quickly.
Yeah,
The reason why we didn't live stream last night is poor preparation on our part. We did not realize that in order to stream on YouTube, you have to send a request, which takes 24 hours. So when I attempted to go live, we were both at Andrew's house.
yeah,
When I attempted to get the stream up and going, it said, yeah, now you got to wait 24 hours and then you can stream.
yeah.
So that kind of killed any ambition we had of streaming last night.
Learning experience, folks. Learning experience.
It's okay. We're still new at this,
Yeah,
and
it's the first time we tried something new, and that's fine. It wasn't a failure. It was kind of like a misunderstanding through our point of view. That's it.
we'll, I can't promise when the next time we'll try this is, but we'll get this going again soon.
Yeah, why not? I mean, always try
But
somewhere else.
all right, man, let's stop. Let's start at the top. Show opened up women's War Games match,
Yep.
Damage Control versus Becky, Bianca, Shotzi, and Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, this was kind of early on. Like we were getting our food situation going, so I saw more of the match than you did, but
Yeah, I saw
it
that
was
very time.
it was really solid. And
Yeah.
I liked how Dakota Kai was playing a integral part,
Mm.
even though, and I still continue to like the way Dakota Kai is getting herself involved while still recovering from her ACL or whatever it is she tore.
She's kind of becoming them almost like the puppet master of that whole group.
And Michael Cole said it last night
Yeah.
on commentary.
She's almost like the true leader of that group in a puppet master type of way. Bailey's like the face leader, where everybody sees her, that's who you think. But
Yep.
behind the scenes, she's the one just dangling the sword of Damocles over everybody and making them do what they need to do, or else it's kind of
Right.
interesting. Good match.
Yeah.
Not really complain about it. Good spots. We were very right on Bailey the pin.
Yeah.
Uh, on a side note, though, I kind of thought though maybe the Damage Control might actually pull this one off just based on the fact that they
Same.
did just become the bigger group with adding Oscar and Kyrie Sane to it. So I
Right.
did think of that, but it's not surprising too. I think there is definitely a turn coming too for Bailey as a face way. I think that might be revealed on SmackDown, but we'll see what happens on SmackDown with that because that's still a couple days away.
I
Things might
think
change.
I think the turn's coming on
Yeah,
SmackDown.
so do I.
Well, I mean, you said it to me last night. I
Yeah,
thought it was going to happen at the pay-per-view,
yeah.
but um, I mean, it's not like they didn't have time to do it.
No, they didn't have time to do it. I think the celebration. I think they could have done it. The celebration for the women winning didn't really have to go as long as I guess as it did. But no, they could have done it. But you know what? There was look, there was enough going on that night. We didn't
Yep.
know. You didn't know at that time, but you found out later
And
on the night.
and in hindsight, given everything that happened, especially at the end of the show,
Yeah.
I think that the turn would have been vastly overshadowed.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you could even say vastly say that with what happened at the end of the show,
Even
Orton got
Orton's,
overshadowed a little bit. You can almost say that a little bit. I mean, not
yeah,
much,
but
but a little bit.
but at the same time, like I'll give you my take on that in a bit.
Oh, we'll both
So,
have takes on that for sure.
but after the women's war game match, brought our first surprise of the night in the least expected spot. So this show had product placement all over the place.
Oh yeah, lots of
Okay.
Slim Jim, lots of Ruffles.
Yeah, lots of Ruffles and Slim Jim while we were eating Domino's pizza.
Yeah,
So,
Domino's is delicious. It was tasty as hell.
and
Crushed that pizza, man. Crushed it.
so, Alpha Academy minus Chad Gable,
Yeah.
Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, and then Pretty Deadly walk in. They start arguing over whether they're called crisps or chips because I guess in the UK they're crisps.
In the UK, crisp or chips are considered crisps, and fries in the UK are considered chips, if I'm
Right.
correct.
So they start a tug of war and they throw the bowl against the wall. And then Otis yells at, I believe, was it Elton?
The blonde one, yeah, I think that's Alden.
Okay. To go pick it up. And as he does, the returning R-Truth, who last time we saw him was about a year and a bit ago, he tore his knee completely apart in a match on NXT, doing a tope con hero over the top rope
I
at
thought he
40
retired. I thought he retired.
at 49 years old.
Yeah.
Um, well, no, so he's fairly active on social media,
Mm-hmm.
especially on TikTok.
He does a lot of
And
music stuff and all that.
yeah, yeah. I think he released an album while he was off,
It's
if I'm
quite
being honest.
possible. I know he does a lot of stuff like at home. They did a documentary on him, I think, a couple of years ago. He did
Right.
does a lot of stuff at home and through his own means.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, so basically it was just a big spot to, bring back our truth and then get Tozawa to do his stupid little dance he's doing.
oh, you mean this whole thing though?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
that
kind of
thing.
fun. That's a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Yeah, that thing.
Hearing
So
myself
that
on live shows.
so that brought us to our second match, Dragon
Yeah,
Lee and Santos Escobar.
which
Good
was originally
athletic,
supposed to be Carlito.
good athletic
Yeah,
match, but really nothing to really write home about.
yeah.
Santos won with his Phantom Driver.
Well,
Um,
Santos was never going to lose that match to begin with. I mean, I think it was just more or less just a showcase for
yeah,
Dragon Lee because he is a big signee of the WWE. They brought him over from NXT. They called him up fairly quickly too, which is nice,
yeah,
I guess. He's probably gonna take over the Rey Mysterio role because I don't see this guy ever being booed either. He's like one of those like Rey Mysterio type of guys.
yeah, yeah.
He's like complete opposite of his brother Roosh. So,
I mean, but I mean, the dude can go.
oh, of course he can really go. Like he
He
can,
can go,
yeah,
but like it's. I think we're almost running into a problem because, like, yes, when it comes to guys that can flip and fly and all that, I mean, you got Ricochet. Now you have
yeah,
Dragon Lee, Santos Escobar.
yeah,
You have like so many guys that can flip and fly now.
yeah.
And, you know, you basically only have Gunther and Drew that are like ground based. But even Drew will do a fucking tope over the top,
That's very
right?
true.
So I mean, I don't know. Wrestling's evolved, obviously, but
Absolutely is.
I still think that there's a need for diversity in
Oh yeah.
styles. Um, but I mean, yeah, you build Santos as a heel. I don't think he's going to reach you know, I don't think he's going to reach challenging Roman Reigns or anything. But
No.
you know, he can be a good mid card to upper mid card heel
Yeah.
if you book it right.
Mm,
Um, so that led us to the Intercontinental title match, which I didn't think of much going in.
no.
Gunther and the Miz,
No.
but the Miz still continues to shock me, even 18 years in,
Look,
19 years in.
I mean, I might get some flack for this from people. I might not get some flack from people. People might agree with me, might not, just might disagree with me. Look, the Miz, as annoying of a shit as he is,
Mm-hmm.
right? I got nothing against the guy, but his character alone is annoying as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the guy can go. The guy's proved
Oh
enough
yeah,
times that he is a very very good wrestler. And people
I've
who sit
never
there and say he's not don't know their heads from their
I've
ass.
never doubted that ability.
No, I'm not
Like,
saying you. I'm just saying in general, people have.
I mean,
It's kind of been the knock on him for a while.
I thought it was kind of funny how Michael Cole was bringing up the fact like he has a win over John Cena in the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah, but he didn't mention the fact that The Rock helped with that one.
They omitted the fact that not only did The Rock help with that, he did that. He finished that match with a very severe concussion
Oh, yeah,
because the closing spot of that match originally
yeah,
was Cena clotheslining him over the barricade, and
yeah.
he smashed his head on the concrete floor. Did not answer the 10 count until The Rock came back and said, no, no, we're restarting this, even though The Miz is out on his feet. Restart the bell, rock bottom, people's elbow.
Yeah.
Or I think it was just a rock bottom and Miz
It
just
was
kind of
Rock
climbed.
Bottoms because Miz just covered him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that was actually a pretty good WrestleMania considering everything that went on.
that's highly considered one of the worst, actually.
See, I didn't mind it. See, I kind of liked it. I don't
I
know.
mean, there's
I
ups and downs about it, but I mean, that is the one that has Cole and Lawler going like 20 minutes.
okay, that was the stupid part. But like for me, like I like it. For me, there's when you look at that match, you consider it what it is.
Mm.
That was Edge's last match,
Yeah.
right?
Well, last match for 9 years.
For 9 years, right? At that point, it was his last match,
Mm-hmm.
right? Austin was there. They really started the whole full Triple H thing with Undertaker going back to back on
Well,
fighting, right?
that was part three of
That was
a four
yeah,
year story.
yeah. But it wasn't mentioned that at the time though. At the
No,
time, it wasn't right.
no, but
Um,
we
look back
look
on it
back at
now, it
it.
was yes, absolutely. But
But anyways,
yeah,
we're getting off track.
we are getting off track here.
So,
So after the Intercontinental title, after that match, sorry, the Intercontinental title match, which was really good still, by the way, we got to
um,
Mommy.
well, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
I just want to I want to shout at the Miz, like, because he did like one of those tilt a whirl tornado DDTs,
Mm-hmm.
and like again, I first saw this guy in Tough Enough in 2004.
Yeah.
That was the first time I saw this dude, and he's still pulling out shit that I haven't seen him
Yeah.
do. And I liked the hope spot of pulling the turnbuckle, um, the low blow into the skull crushing finale. But I also like the fact that Gunther beat him with a different finish.
Yeah. I don't
He
think Gunther really has a real finish anymore.
he broke. Well, he's got like two of them.
Yeah.
Like he goes the clothesline, which I think he calls the last symphony.
Yeah.
Symphony.
Yes.
He's got the big clothesline, and then he's got the power bomb.
Yeah. And fold
But
up
he beats.
powerbomb too.
But maybe this was on purpose,
Yeah.
and there's a little irony involved here
Yeah.
because Gunther beat him with the Lion Tamer,
Yeah. It's kind of
right?
weird. He tapped
I
out to
thought
the line tamer.
I thought it was cool because and it's poetic because as Cole mentioned on the way to the ring,
Mm-hmm.
he would tie Chris Jericho if he had won the title.
Yeah. That was
From
Jericho's old lion tamer too.
Oh yeah. Well, that's
That
the
was
line tamer he still uses now. He just didn't use it much in WWE.
no, he his old line tape was more or less like a Boston Crab at
Yeah,
times in WWE. He pulls out the old one once in a while. At least back then he did.
yeah. He pulls out the big one now in like big match
Yeah,
situations, which cool.
yeah,
But
it's still probably the best line tamer. Like especially his early WCW days when he was in the
but
cruiserweight
I
division.
think I think honestly, like I thought it was a very solid match.
Yeah,
All right, let's talk about mommy.
let's talk mommy.
It was a somewhat competitive match, but
Yeah,
we all seen it coming.
yeah, let's
I
talk.
liked. I don't know if Rhea was trying to pay tribute to Luna Vachon or Sherry Martel with
I'm gonna
that
say
hair.
it's a bit of column A and B.
Yeah, with that hairstyle.
Yeah,
But she had it going, man.
yeah, she looked good. She looks good. And you know what? Say what you will about Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
The girl's a great wrestler.
Oh
She
yeah.
really
And
is. Like she knows what
she's
she's
only
doing.
28.
Only 20 years old, and she's a far cry from when she first came into WWE in the Mae Young Classic.
Oh yeah.
Like the whole blonde is gone,
Oh
right?
yeah.
That whole nice look is gone.
Hmm.
Um, she's really developed into a great character with this character as Rhea Ripley, and as an offshoot, this mommy, right? She's really good. Like she really is
Since
good.
since she joined the Judgment Day,
Mm-hmm.
which we're coming up on almost 2 years now.
Yeah,
Since she joined the Judgment Day, just the character progression.
yeah,
Because think about it like this, right? At the end of the day, it's a TV show.
mm-hmm.
And how do you get people keep tuning in? Character development.
Yeah. Change the characters or develop the characters more. Like get more involved with the characters.
You add layers to the
Yeah.
story,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is why I praise so highly what AEW is doing with MJF right now.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that later this week.
Yeah, MJ, yeah. AEW is another subject for another day.
Yeah, but uh, I mean, I guess I'm kind of dancing around the fact that this was a really nothing match, and I mean, Zoe Stark's a great athlete, but like almost no charisma, man.
I don't see this is not a knock is on Zoe Stark in the slightest. I just don't see her as a world champion. I just don't.
Mhm.
Maybe if they had a secondary title for the women's, like an Intercontinental title, or like an AEW, like they have the
Like the
TBS
TBS
title,
title.
right?
Yeah,
I can see her holding that for sure, right?
yeah.
But I don't see her as a world title. I just don't. Especially when you have someone like Becky Lynch
Speaking
there,
of speaking
Charlotte
of the
Flair.
TBS title,
Yeah,
why do I have this inkling that Jade Cargill is going to debut at the Rumble, win the Rumble, and then beat Rhea at WrestleMania?
because it's good after
Because that would make too much sense, right?
it would make too much sense. To be honest, I think I said in a past conversation on our probably on our show that I think Rhea's holding that title past Perth. I think she holds it in Perth for Elimination Chamber. I don't think anybody wins it,
Oh yeah,
right? And I
that's
think
but that's why I'm saying Mania.
yeah, I think Mania is probably there now. Jade Cargill, are they willing to put the title on her that fast? It's
What
possible.
the hell? But at the same time, think about it like this: anybody in AEW whose contract is up, who may be worried about treatment, about going to the other place,
Yeah. Well,
you look at what they've done with Cody. You look at what they may do with Jade,
yeah,
or at least how big of a deal they've made Jade
yeah.
become.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you look at what the just Brian Pillman Jr., right?
Yeah.
He's been back in WWE for or not back, but he's been in WWE for about 2 months now, right?
Uh, yeah, he
When
only
when
really
did they
debuted
start showing when did they start showing those vignettes? Like
a couple of
mid
weeks before Halloween Havoc. He debuted at
okay,
Halloween Havoc night
right,
one, but he's been in the WWE for probably a couple months though before he actually debuted
right.
with the whole character.
So,
Let's just, I
but
actually like the character.
yeah, I don't mind it either.
No,
I also like the logic behind This is why I'm changing my name.
Yeah, it's almost like he doesn't want to be under
A
his.
lot. Well, my point to that is a lot of times what you'll see is when WWE brings guys in and changes their name, there's no rhyme or reason for it,
Yeah,
right? Other than merchandising and branding.
yeah.
That's it.
Mhm.
But I like that they gave him a reason this time.
Yeah.
They gave him a legitimate reason.
Well,
So that's cool.
it's also cool the
Um,
fact that he also doesn't want to be under his father.
right.
You know what I
But
mean?
he was in AEW for 3 years as Brian Pillman Jr. So don't
Yeah,
I think he's only doing this because he's coming up as a heel.
yeah. But I think the Brian Pillman Jr. thing also ran its course. He wasn't getting anywhere with
Maybe.
it,
Yeah,
right?
maybe.
It wasn't getting anywhere with it.
Hmm.
So it's this is better off. But right now it looks really cool. I'm interested to see what goes on with like I kind of like where it's going right now with the whole Carmelo Hayes and
My point.
Trick Williams thing. So that's kind of
Yeah,
cool right now.
he's trying to like manipulate between the two of them. I
Yeah, it
like
looks
that.
I like where that's going. But anyway,
But no, my point to that is like, so if I'm an AEW guy, my contract's coming up. You actually have you have a legitimate option by looking at WWE. Okay, well, they're not treating they're not treating the guys coming from here any differently than their guys.
no.
So that might be enticing to some.
Yeah, it might entice some guys who went to AEW after leaving WWE to come back to WWE too, right? Like
Mhm.
someone like Miro, who's not really doing much in AEW, really isn't, right?
Yeah,
Now I don't know
I
how
don't
long
know.
his contract is.
I think that's a missed opportunity. Like,
It started off good,
yeah, started off great.
and then the Redeemer stuff was
But
really cool.
ever since he lost the TNT title to, was it Sammy or Darby?
It was Darby.
I'm trying to remember which one happened second.
I think it was Darby because Darby held that title like 3 times.
Yeah, and Miro beat him for it the
Yeah,
second time.
yeah,
And so actually Darby came first, then Sammy
yeah.
Guevara.
Okay,
So since he lost the title to Sammy Guevara and then got hurt,
yeah,
that was 2 years ago.
yeah. We think about it. Wow, Jesus, that is 2 years ago.
That was like August of 2021.
Yeah, that was a while.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah,
This dude's done next to nothing.
yeah, it's
But I
it's
think
up the ball.
he may stay in AEW because his wife's there too.
Yeah, she
But
just signed recently, right? So,
yeah.
uh,
Anyways,
let's get
anyways,
to the men's war game match because there's gonna be a lot to talk about here.
yeah, a lot to unpack here. So
Uh,
throughout the course of the night, they were playing this. They were playing the "Is Randy actually going to show up?" game,
yeah,
and because as you would find out later on, they were basically doing this so that they can give him his whole entrance to come and save the day,
yeah,
type deal. Which
mhm,
the way they pulled it off was really cool.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, you had Team Cody, which was Cody and Jay Uso and Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins and the aforementioned Randy Orton against the Judgment Day, Dom, Ray, or sorry, force that habit.
Dom.
Dom, Finn, Damian, JD, and Drew. All right. So they had Finn
Or,
start. They had Finn start on one side. They had Seth start on the other.
mhm,
Judgment Day had the advantage.
yeah,
And this all built up to after it's a 5-on-4 advantage with Judgment Day. They lay everybody out.
yeah,
And then Damian does the razor's edge to Seth through the table.
yeah,
Then the countdown hits, and we're all expecting Randy Orton. Rhea Ripley's music hits, and she comes flying out
yeah,
with a referee, and they were going to do a cash in the middle of War Games.
You know what? That was
That was
pretty shocking to be honest. That was like
creative.
really cool. That's really like
Yeah,
I thought it was actually going to happen there for a second
so did I.
because it was one of the most like one of the most one of those pay per views where you kind of looked at it like yeah, actually pull some cool shit here. So get you excited.
But
But anyway,
but and I said this to you last night. Orton's music hits,
yeah,
thwarting the attempt, and to see the swagger and confidence, and like you can see he's not shy anymore.
no, he's very happy to be
Like
back too.
he's not stiff with his movement. He was
Yeah,
moving around. He was, you know, he's got the swagger now.
yeah,
Like that's something that I think Matt Riddle brought out of him.
yeah. That and
As
I think it's just years of you know what?
as much as it's, fuck Matt Riddle around here, but
I think it's also too back to he doesn't know how much time he really has left. I think he doesn't know that too.
apparently
And now
apparently as
well, he's
apparently as
saying
he was
10
leaving,
years.
yeah,
Yeah. Look,
I don't
I
know
don't
what he's going to
know,
do with that double fused back.
but yeah, like I don't know. He says 10 years, but I think he's taking it as enjoy the moment now. He worked his ass off at this point now where he can pretty much do whatever he wants, right? So
The way
he's
the way that I look at it, okay, so Randy Orton is my favorite WWE superstar of the last 20 years.
okay.
Okay. Outside of the shoulder injury that kept him out his rookie year,
Mm-hmm.
he hurt the same shoulder post WrestleMania 20 that he got in a motorcycle accident in 2008,
Somewhere along those lines.
somewhere around there,
Yeah,
2008, I want to say.
yeah,
And then he was
yeah,
consistent until 2020, or sorry, 2021.
yeah.
And oh no, 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 he went up to 2022. It was last year he got hurt.
He's been on and off though too. He's taking some vacation time too, right over the years.
Vacations don't count.
Okay, do I can count vacations then? Okay, then straight.
Yeah, like this dude has been a fucking constant in WWE.
Yeah,
And he had never missed as much time as he did from June of last year
yeah.
until last night.
554 days it was.
I think that's what they said.
Yeah,
And you know, this was Randy Orton's in the best shape I've ever seen him in, by the way.
yeah. So
He looked like he ate old Randy Orton.
yeah, he as a guy who does bodybuilding and enjoys bodybuilding. I'm not gonna lie to you, he's definitely bigger than when he left.
Oh yeah.
And I now listen. Has he probably yes, right? But look, when you go through surgery like that too, they're going to feed you stuff for that too.
Oh yeah.
You know, because it helps recovery, helps the muscle building back up and recovery. So he probably has, right? Whatever, right? But he looked good for his age.
He's shredded, dude.
He's what 40. I'm 41. He's how much 40?
I think he's 40. I think he's 44, 45
Yeah,
maybe.
he's not that much older than me. I know that. Like he looks quite good for his age. So, like, really, who
He's
cares?
40, he's 43.
Okay, so he's 2 years older than me.
Yeah.
So, like, he looks good. Like that
Yeah.
gives me something to strive for more too, because I feel
You
like
know
I
what it
look good for my
remind you know
age.
what it reminded me of?
Yeah.
Do you remember Blood and Guts back in the summer?
Which one?
And
Just the summer? Oh, the one in the summertime.
yeah.
Yes, I
Do you
do.
remember Blood and Guts in the summer?
Yeah,
And Kota Ibushi came out,
yeah. But
and
that was a lot different than
I texted you and I
yeah,
said Kota Ibushi looks like he ate Kota Ibushi.
yeah, but not the same way Orton looked though. Like he looked like he just like put on beef, whereas Orton
Oh yeah.
looks he put on okay. There's a difference between putting on beef and there's like Kota Ibushi when he came back at Blood and Guts. he looked like he ate someone, but not in the right way. Whereas Orton came back, he looks like he ate somebody, but in a good or in the right way.
Right.
Like he looked
Right.
trimmed, he looked healthy. His body fat level's probably at he's probably running a 9-10 body
Yeah.
fat right now for his height. He's
Yeah.
about I'm 6'3" and a bit, 6'4". He's about the same. So
Yeah.
gives you an idea of where our body types are. But yeah, he looked really good. Like he looked good. The way he came
He's
out,
only 2 years older than you, so what's your excuse? Why aren't you shredded like Randy Orton?
I'm pretty
I'm
shredded as it is,
I'm
actually.
playing, dude. I'm playing.
I'm pretty shredded as it is.
I'm
But
I'm just messing with you.
I like my carbohydrates a little too much sometimes too, though.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, like the way he came out, it was a big ovation. Like everyone
Yeah.
was really happy to see Randy.
That
Um, they took his time coming into the ring.
he
He had a
he
great
looked,
time.
but
Yeah,
he
he looked happy. He looked happy for
he
the
looked
first time in a
happy
while.
to be back. Yeah, he looked happy to be back.
Yeah,
And
the last time I think he looked
so
that happy
so he
was
gets
WrestleMania with crowds came back.
right.
The first one.
So he comes in, he does all the signature hits,
Yeah,
double like clothesline, power slam. Then the rest of the team recovers, beats up the rest of Judgment
yeah.
Day. They all do Orton's rope draping DDT.
Well, there was a
At the,
point there before that where he was gonna RKO Jey Uso before Jey Uso stepped in and
you're
kicked Damian
right. You're
Priest.
right. Oh no. That happened after.
No,
That happened.
that was the yeah, I was after they all ganged up on him and then later on.
Yeah. So so Orton was setting up for the RKO. Jeyus was down in the corner,
Yeah.
and then he looks like he's stalking Jay.
Yeah.
And what came next was a very brilliantly planned out and executed uh like set of spots here.
Yeah.
So you're selling the tension between Jay and Randy. Randy's like, I remember what you
Yeah.
did.
They pointed out really well too. They're like,
Yeah,
I remember. You almost hear Randy mouth it. I
yeah,
remember.
I remember.
Yeah.
And Damien tries to attack Orton from behind. Jay takes the bullet and hits Priest with a super kick. Dom gets hit with an RKO.
It was nice seeing
Uh,
that RKO. I'm not gonna lie. It was nice seeing the
oh
RKO.
yeah, the crowd just
They
exploded.
popped for that. Yeah.
There was a haluva kick at some point. There was a stomp at some point. Cody
Cody
cut
Cutter.
Cody Cutter at some
Yeah.
point. And then JD McDonough comes to and he tries to escape.
Yeah.
Seth and Sammy scale up the cage with him.
Yeah.
And I think we all knew what was coming from there.
Poor JD McDonough be the sacrificial lamb for Orton. Poor bastard.
They literally mapped it out on the spot, it
Yep.
looked like.
Yeah.
Where Orton he said, just throw him about right here.
Yeah. Just do it right here. Right this section here.
They threw McDonough off the cage into the RKO. And even I gave a fist pump on the couch. Like,
yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that was
uh,
one of the coolest RKOs outside of the Seth Rollins RKO at WrestleMania 22, 21, 22.
that's up there. That's up there.
Yeah.
But what's really cool and where I thought this was leading to, and I'll get into in a sec. So instead of taking the pin, Orton hands Priest over to Cody Rhodes, who hits Crossroads for the win.
Yeah.
Baby faces emerge.
Yeah.
And I looked at my phone, it was 10:48.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, maybe the turn is coming. Because there was speculation that Orton was going to drop either Cody or Jay with an RKO.
Well, that's what I thought too, because I said,
Yeah.
say they're watching it, and so I'm watching it, and I see the whole copy strike come up, right? I'm like, okay, right? But I'm sitting there watching it. The first thing I think myself is, who's Randy going to RKO now? Because I was thinking it might be Seth. You mentioned Cody.
You said it straight up to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And it could also have been Jay. But then out of nowhere, we're watching it, and all of a sudden I hear is all of a sudden I start hearing CM Punk's music come on,
And I
and
had to double take.
yeah,
So I told you this. Now,
CM fucking Punk.
mind you, as you if you guys watch these videos, I like I like to have a couple of alcoholic beverages, and I like to indulge in a little marijuana here and there. So, I was feeling last night,
Yeah.
and my and I froze because I wasn't sure if they had thrown to like some old clip,
Yep.
and then it clued into me that they were still live. And
I thought it was a joke up until he walked the hell out. I thought it was just a joke
ah,
just to piss off Chicago fans, but no.
but I told you last night they would have lost so much future business if they did that.
Yeah, they would have, but it would a hell of a way
But
to fucking piss people
they
off.
have done it before.
Yeah.
They've done it before, except
Mm-hmm.
this time, like I think it was their first show back in Chicago since Punk walked out,
Yeah.
and they had Punk's music hit, and Heyman came out and cut a
Yeah.
promo on the crowd.
Yeah.
But no, lo and behold, 3 months after getting fired from AEW,
Yeah.
CM Punk finally mended fences.
Yeah, but it looks like yeah. Apparently, word is on the wire. There was a that started taking place last week sometime. Then Tim and Triple H had a very long, hour-long conversation about it, and they buried the hatchet about everything, from what
Right.
I've heard through Sean
So
Ross Sapp. Sean Ross Sapp.
so what so here's the stuff I've managed to piece together throughout
Yeah.
today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the press conference last night.
Mm-hmm.
So Triple H said that this was basically all speculation until people stopped thinking it was actually going to happen, and
Yeah.
that's when it happened.
Yeah.
So that tells me that it was probably agreed upon late Saturday night and finalized Sunday morning.
No, you got that wrong.
Now,
Friday, Saturday morning.
right, sorry,
It's okay. Yeah, a long day.
yeah, this is still Sunday. Jesus.
It's okay.
Um,
You can be forgiven.
I'm also used to the old pay-per-view schedule being on Sunday.
Sometimes, yes.
Um, so yeah, I think it was finalized Saturday morning. But something I saw from Sean Ross Sapp in Fightful today is
Mm-hmm.
WWE told him that nothing's officially signed, and they might be playing this free agent type deal. But at the same time, it's being reported that his deal is several
Multiple years.
years.
Multiple years, yes.
I saw the word several.
Well, multiple, several. Okay, could be something.
Multiple could be as little as two.
It's true.
Several, you start thinking 5 to 10.
I don't think he's got 10 years.
He's
But
only 40.
yeah, it's true. He's only a year younger than me.
He's only 40. Now, this all being said,
Yeah.
there was a video that went viral last night of Seth Rollins having to be held back
Yeah.
and flipping off CM Punk.
Well, it wasn't just Seth that was upset. It was apparently
Drew
Drew.
stormed out before Punk even came out.
Yeah. So it almost tells me that almost tells me either that's either character wise based on the whole judgment thing, or Drew they knew ahead or they knew ahead of time. My guess is they knew ahead of time.
Apparently, now I will use that word all the time when I'm talking about this stuff because you never know what the true story is going to be. And I always come from the school of the truth has three sides,
Mm-hmm.
or every story has three sides:
Yeah.
side A, side B, and the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So, allegedly or apparently, the guys were told as they were going out
Oh.
that to stay in the ring and Punk was coming.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a video that went live of Rollins being held back by Corey Graves and Michael Cole of all people.
Yeah.
And flipping off CM Punk and fuck you and this and that.
Yeah.
And turns out Meltzer came out today and said that that was apparently a work.
Angle. Yeah, it's an angle.
Yeah.
Now, I
So,
mean, because there has been Seth has said things in the past about CM Punk.
yeah. He said it as
But
recent. He said it as recently as
yes, he
SummerSlam.
did, but he also did say too, if it's good for business, he will bring it in for sure. So
And funny enough, an interview from 2 years ago surfaced of Roman Reigns
yeah,
saying the exact same thing.
yeah,
Someone asked him about CM Punk coming
yeah,
back.
yeah,
I think he was doing like a bunch of virtual interviews leading up to SummerSlam 21
yeah,
against Cena.
yeah.
And the topic of CM Punk came up.
Mm-hmm.
And he said the same thing.
Yeah.
He said, as much as this guy made my job harder for 5 to 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
if it's something the fans really want, if it makes business sense, all aboard.
And I said that before too. With
Yeah.
the fight, if it's financially good for WWE, they're going to do it. I said
Mm-hmm.
that at the end of one of the shorts that we've done that I've done. Listen, it's funny. Look, it's one of the biggest talking points anybody's had about the WWE. Okay, in a while. This is a huge thing. It's massively huge. It
Uh-huh.
almost shifts. It shifts a lot of things. It's almost like this is WWE's reaction to losing Will Ospreay to AEW. It's almost like that.
No, I'm actually going to think it's more simpler than that.
Okay, let's say something.
So I think that this came about because after Punk got let go from AEW,
Yeah.
when he got fired from AEW in the
Mm-hmm.
summer or
Yeah.
beginning of September,
Yeah. Once it officially became official. Yeah.
there was speculation right away
Yeah.
that he was going to end up at Survivor Series.
There was speculation he would come back at some point to WWE. That was
So
one thing.
today, WWE has advertised CM Punk for Monday Night Raw in Nashville tomorrow.
Oh, that's going to be a big one.
Or by the time you guys listen to this, it'll be tonight.
That is going to be slaughtered by, yeah.
I would anticipate him opening the show.
You got to think that, right?
Yeah. I don't think they're going to make everybody wait.
No.
That's
No.
that's not WWE style.
No.
Also, Randy Orton is advertised for tomorrow's Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the span of 24 hours, they just gained two mega level baby faces
Oh, yeah.
in Punk and Orton.
What? Yeah.
As much as Randy Orton is a much better heel than he is a babyface, he has his tag team with Riddle, and he keeps getting better at his promos.
Yeah.
I know he hasn't cut a promo in a year and a half, but
No.
quite frankly, everything to Randy Orton is like riding a bicycle.
Yeah. Although,
And
if they're gonna do anything tomorrow with Randy, you'll see it tomorrow because they might just turn him heel right away tomorrow. They might.
they
Depends on what they
could.
want. They could because you could do the legacy stuff. You could do the Jey Uso stuff.
You could, yeah, you could definitely have
You
him.
know, you
Well,
get
no,
big.
but here, hold on. Like you can have. That's a good point. So Cody's been basically thinking about, like, he's been wanting to end the Judgment Day,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And he never held the tag titles with Orton when he was in Legacy.
No, that was with Ted DiBiase Jr.
And Orton never got a rematch for the tag team titles
It's true.
after the Usos beat him last year.
Yeah.
So I think that the perfect first program is you lead up to the Royal Rumble,
Yeah,
Cody and Randy versus Priest and Balor. Hell, you can even do it on Monday Night Raw in a couple of weeks.
it's true. You could. It's one of those things you
Just
just change the title whenever you want, really.
especially with those tag titles lately.
Yeah, they kind of like they like the hot potato that shit once in a while.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is well, and again, I guess they're making up for lost time because the Usos were champions for like fucking almost 2 years.
yeah, it's true. Right. So
So I think, you know, now back to Punk.
back to CM Punk because there's more to talk about this. I'm interested to see. I haven't seen a lot of reactions yet from a lot of people who used to work in WC. Sorry, in AEW. I haven't seen a reaction yet from any of them. Like I'm surprised Jericho hasn't said anything on Twitter yet. I'm kind of interested to see what he's gonna say about it.
A lot of
But
people calling him a hypocrite.
I saw that too because he did say to MJF a couple months back
No,
about
that was like when they were feuding a couple of years
yeah,
ago.
sorry, like yeah, it was a year ago probably.
No,
Anyway,
it was
anyway,
2021, buddy.
was it 2021? You should,
They
no, I'm not gonna.
they
I'm not gonna get to schematics now. I'm not going to schematics right now. There's no point. But he did get that conversation with MGF about it. So
yeah.
that's interesting that he said all that, and then he's the one
Mhm.
that comes to WWE, not MJF.
Right.
So I guess
And there's
the
also an old tweet of his resurfacing of him quote tweeting, I guess, The Miz on backstage after he left backstage the show on Fox, where Miz says, "Sorry, I didn't change the culture," and um, Punk basically told him to go suck a blood money dick or something like that.
yeah.
And
Well,
the irony of that is, I bet you come uh, the next Saudi show, which I think will be post WrestleMania.
uh, see that are gonna be four.
No, because they just had one at the beginning of November.
Yeah, they did one in Perth. They do Perth in February, right?
Yep, their next three pay-per-views are Rumble in
Yeah,
at Tropicana Field,
yeah.
the
Elimination
Chamber
Chamber. Yeah,
In Perth,
yeah.
and then Mania in
Australia.
Philly.
Okay, so there's something in between. Would there be something in between?
No, they just don't have anything scheduled.
Whatever. I don't know.
But again, that's not to say that they can't like load up a Raw or load up a SmackDown. I think they're done loading up SmackDown because come the new year, SmackDown's back on USA.
Yeah.
So
Surprised Fox let that go, especially after
they didn't want it.
they didn't want, yeah, but now that Punk's back, they might
Don't
be
know.
kicking him. Ah, you know what? Who knows?
Who
Whatever.
cares?
I'm not gonna get into that. As long as it still shows up at the same time as the same days that I want to watch, that I'm here for watching wrestling, that's fine. I don't give a damn what they do. Not my problem.
As far as I know, it's still going to be
Yeah.
Friday at 8.
It's still gonna be on Sportsnet here in Canada. So
Oh, the Canadian TV deal is up next year, I think.
oh, that Canadian deal will probably be fine. Well, they'll go back
Unless
to TS.
actually, you know what? They might have renewed.
They probably have renewed. But
Let me
you
get a
know,
quick search.
yeah, that's
Just tell
fine.
me what's on your mind about this.
It's just the whole thing with like I'm interested to see what's gonna happen with CM Punk right now. Because I'm very like there's already talk that we talked about last night. Is he gonna be the one that beats Roman now at WrestleMania? Will he be the guy face Roman at WrestleMania? He had that he stated before after he left WWE 10 years ago that he never got that main event match at WrestleMania that he always wanted
Right.
or he felt he deserved. They said, well, you know, you get the Undertaker. That's a main event. Yeah, but it's not because it's the last one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even when the Miz faced John Cena at that WrestleMania we talked about, Punk thought in his mind he was the best heel and should be the best heel against the best baby face, which was Cena. So he never got that main event match.
Sure.
Is he the one? Is he gonna be the one that faces Reigns this year? And is he gonna take the title from Reigns? That's the kind of question I have right now. Because they've done so much with Cody about the whole finishing the story stuff. And is it possible that Cody gets overshadowed now and they just move Cody over to say that world title on Raw? I mean, he is on Raw. So
Yeah.
he's not exactly a
So
SmackDown guy, even though it
just
tends to blend the lines.
quick little reading.
Yeah.
So 2 years ago, they put out a statement saying that it was to announce that NXT was broadcasting live in Canada now, and it has every week since. But their deal is through 2024.
Okay.
So at the end of 2024, that deal's up.
Oh, okay. So,
and to be honest, it's probably going to get renewed anyway.
Of course it will.
But so
they might go to TSN might watch.
But TSN has AEW.
That's true too.
And they barely promote it.
That's true too. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a sports event.
They need to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I will say, I guess I'll just kind of like my closing thoughts on Punk and Survivor Series as a whole is, I'm not CM Punk's biggest fan.
No.
There was a time where I probably was, but that time was 10 years ago. He was one of those out of sight, out of mind type people.
Yeah.
I did watch his UFC run. It was kind of cool when he came back to do the Fox show.
Yeah.
But to me, after just the unnecessary drama that he created in AEW, I'm like, I don't even care anymore. Like, so there is money matches to be made that I will watch.
Of course.
Him and Rollins, you have to understand. This is what I was going to bring up the whole time is there's only a few guys that are there that now that were there when he left almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like literally 2 months almost to the day. In 2 months almost to the day would be 10 years that he walked out. So you have basically Reigns, Rollins, Orton, Miz.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody else, I mean, Drew was already fired by then.
Yeah. But there is that battle. They're probably do a Drew match for sure.
Well, Drew's a big enough babyface to do it. Or, sorry, heel now. But according to Drew, he's not a heel.
He hasn't done really anything dastardly, let's be honest. He didn't really do anything dastardly at War Games.
No. He just wanted to kill Jey Uso.
Yeah. My thoughts, though, with this whole thing is probably one of the most shocking moments I've seen in WWE for a long time.
This is up there.
I just definitely,
This is definitely up there.
It's CM Punk, man. Like, that guy is a magnet for this shit. Controversial, all those things he is, but the WWE will forgive and forgive for everybody. Whoa. They've done it enough times.
They did it with San Martino. They did it with Ultimate Warrior. They did it with Billy Graham. They did it with Jesse Ventura.
And Hogan.
They did it with Hogan.
Yeah. Even Austin when he walked.
Austin.
Right? If there's business can be made and money can be made, they will do it. Now, that being said, I don't think if the old man was still in charge, I don't think this would happen. But things are different now. Triple H is right. Triple H is right. He was different then compared to what he is now. If you haven't grown in those 10 years, you've messed up somewhere.
Right. But also remember that literally 4 months ago, not even 4 months ago, 3 months ago.
Yeah.
He assaulted a coworker and threatened his boss, and got himself fired.
Yeah.
So I
But
don't know. Listen, I give it a year tops before this
no,
guy starts acting like a
well,
child.
here's the thing is though. Here's the thing. And this is probably the biggest part of the whole thing. Now, I'm not saying you're not wrong, because there's a good possibility you're not wrong on this.
Yeah.
But in AEW, Tony Khan is the owner
Mm-hmm.
and the boss,
Mm-hmm.
but he is not one you consider the boss. Let's be honest. In WWE, you know who the boss is no matter what.
It's Nick Khan.
It's Nick Khan, it's TKO, it's Endeavor,
Mm-hmm. It's Ari
it's
Emanuel,
Ari Emanuel. You think they're going to allow that shit to go on? They won't.
which is why the first time he fucking tries shit, they're
Yeah.
gonna fucking send him
And,
packing.
and I'm sure there is a clause in that contract.
But
I'm guaranteed it is.
so, like, let's forget all this shit for now. It's like I'm excited at the opportunity,
Yep.
but at the same time, I'm very trepidatious
Mhm.
in the sense that, you know, I I just want to see good wrestling at this point of my life.
Yeah.
I don't care who's involved.
Mhm.
I have my favorites, I have my dislikes.
We all do.
I think there's two surefire matches that are going to happen eventually, and
Mhm.
that's Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns.
With Punk?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's definitely going to happen.
yeah.
Seth will probably be first. That'll
I
probably be very
I
shortly.
think they're setting that up Monday night.
I think they're set up for Monday night. I think they're setting up for maybe for the Rumble, if not on a Monday night show.
See,
They
and
might.
that becomes the question, right? Like how long do you wait to put him in the ring?
He's got to be healed now from whatever crap he had just dealing with. So there's probably no way he's not healed.
And and just some food for thought for everybody. Yes, he will always be universally loved in the city of Chicago. He's from there.
Of course.
But I wonder what the reactions are going to be in other cities.
Well, we can attest to what we saw at Forbidden Door. So that was still AEW. That was only
That was
like a
6 months ago.
month. Yeah, that was a few months ago, but that was also a month after the whole incident, right? Forbidden Door. A lot of people were already pissed at that point. So,
Sorry,
um,
when he came back, right?
yeah,
When he came back from the brawl out incident from last year, right?
yeah, people were already pissed about it. Yeah,
That's yeah, okay.
right. People were already pissed about that, right? So, I mean,
We'll see.
we'll see what happens. This will be very interesting to see what happens with CM Punk. Uh, he might not be a face for long. He might be a heel as of tomorrow, right? But
We'll see.
we'll see what
This
happens.
could be a Brett 1997 thing
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
where
It's
he'll
gonna be
be a baby
exciting.
face in one place only,
Well,
and he'll be a heel everywhere else.
Brett was okay with that, and to be honest, he was cool.
By the way, last thing before we get out of here.
Yeah.
What's the over under on how long the first segment of Raw is going to take on Monday night? Over under 15 minutes.
Oh, it's definitely gonna be fucking over 15 minutes for sure. There's no
Okay.
way it's not being under, unless something happens. But it's
I bet you that they give this fucker like the first half hour.
well, probably. I'll be interested to see what he says, because I'll be interested to see if he's going to bring in the AEW stuff, or what he's going to say about coming back, or
You know he's not touching that with a fucking 10-foot pole.
he's probably going to, especially to say here's a mic. They said that
Maybe,
before.
maybe.
They may. I mean, they did it once, right? That's kind of where the pipe bomb stuff came from, right? And that's
Yeah, but he was talking like he was. That's the thing that people always misunderstand about him and his story is like he first used the term pipe bomb in like 2004.
mhm.
Like the pipe bomb thing was not a new term that he created in
No,
2011.
no, but as when I say that term as a pipe bomb, it's the whole what he said about
Yeah,
him that night. That's what I
the
mean by
shoot,
pipe bomb.
the work shoot
Yeah,
style promo.
that
I
that's
know.
what I mean by pipe bomb. I don't really give a shit about who coined it. He didn't even coin the term pipe bomb to begin with. It was probably
Mm,
somebody else.
that was
Right?
probably Piper or some shit,
Yeah.
but
So I'm just saying to that, like when that happened, it happened all
yeah,
those years ago. That's when it was different. Right? That's what I mean by pipe
for
bomb.
sure.
So,
So that being said, that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Survivor Series was overall thumbs up for me.
it was a good
I'll give
show. I
I'll
enjoyed
give
it.
it I'll give it two thumbs up.
I
I'll give
enjoyed
it
it
two thumbs up.
thoroughly. It was great. I thought it was a good time. One of the most shocking things I've ever seen in wrestling for a while, and I'll stick to that. But it was great seeing Orton. It was
Yeah,
nice seeing R-Truth. And my fuck, CM Punk is back in WWE. My God, CM Punk is fucking back.
hell froze over. Anyways,
Somewhat did.
so just to catch you guys up, last week we did a little bit of a rebrand. This is now just DA Wrestling. We're done with the sports stuff for now. You may hear it in some of the wrestling episodes from here on out.
Yeah.
Um, but we're just gonna stick to wrestling for now because you guys seem to like it more than the sports stuff. So, we're still trying to work things out. So if you go over to our Facebook fan page, it is DA Wrestling. The YouTube has been properly rebranded. That is also DA Wrestling Podcast. Um, have you managed to change the handles on Instagram or X yet?
Not
Or is
yet.
that?
Still have not yet. Still haven't. I've been busy with other things going on, so I haven't
I
had a chance
understand.
to.
I understand. That's fine. So you can still follow the show DA Sports Pod on X, DA Sports Podcast on Instagram.
Still repost a lot of stuff, more stuff.
You can, and you know what? Andrew has been doing some killer work over on TikTok. Andrew at DA Sports over there. Um, he'll post up clips of the show, and you get to see some of his goofy ass personality.
It's kind of
Because
goofy. It's messed up.
no, it's not messed up at all. Don't be shy.
So
But so find us everywhere except Apple,
and
which
Apple doesn't like us.
I may just give up on the Apple journey for now.
Oh,
Um,
they don't like us now, but they'll like us sometime soon.
I honestly just have to get off my ass and create a new email to create an Apple ID to link to our hosting site to then move over to Pod Apple. But we'll get there eventually. Find the show everywhere where else Spotify, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, you name it, we're there except for Apple, iTunes. Um, like, rate, share,
Subscribe,
subscribe. Um,
follow.
yeah, follow us. Until next time, I'm D Lions 1991 on X. He is Apricel 1982 on Instagram, and we will catch you down the road.
Later.